How's it going, everyone? My name is Mulder and welcome to GameChron, your #1 stop for tips and tricks on your favorite video games. Today we're talking about Rocket Arena gameplay tips and tricks, Jayto Beginner's Guide. I'll be going over his 3 unique abilities and how best to combo them against your opponents. Those 3 unique abilities are his Skypiercer Rockets, Rocket Swarm, and Thruster Suit. I'll also tell you what 3 artifacts I'm currently running with him right now that makes him such an excellent frontline fighter. All that and more straight ahead. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for a lot more, and we've finally reached our final Rocket Arena video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our Rocket Arena gameplay tips and tricks Jayto Beginner's Guide video.
Halfway to victory.
Let's start off with Jayto's abilities. His Skypiercer Rockets shoot a single rocket at a time that do a decent amount of damage towards hitting your opponent. These rockets shoot fast, hard, and can hit enemies at long range. These Skypiercing Rockets makes Jayto a very versatile fighter, so anytime an enemy is attacking you from either short to long range, Jayto can meet the challenge. But just in case an opponent's making a rush at you when you're low on health, that's when his second ability comes in handy. Rocket Swarm shoots a swarm of little rockets that do a decent amount of damage onto your opponent if all rockets hit their target. This is best used on an opponent like say Izel, Amphora, or Blast Spear when they're trying to cut the distance on you. It can also be used on an opponent whose health is very low and they're trying to make a quick escape. So long as a few of your rockets out of the rocket storm hit their target, they'll finish them off for you. Now let's talk about Jayto's final ability, which is his Thruster Suit. Now Jayto's Thruster Suit is his special ability, where when activated, it immediately changes him to where he increases his speed, damage output, and even how many rockets he's able to fire at once, along with how high he can fly. It's actually best to use the Thruster Suit at the beginning of an attack on an opponent, because you're able to shoot all 3 of your rockets at once, and if all 3 rockets hit your target back to back, it can actually get them in the red within just 2 shots. A good way to combo this is to activate your Thruster Suit. Once you get your opponent into the red with either 2 to 3 shots, immediately use your Rocket Swarm to finish them off. Even if your opponent survives the Rocket Swarm, you'll still be able to use your Skypiercer Rockets the moment your Thruster Suit ability dies down. Another good combo to use is that you can charge your opponent, activate your Rocket Swarm. Once the Rocket Swarm hits your opponent a little high in the air, activate your Thruster Suit. When your Thruster Suit's activated, give chase to them and close the distance and fire all 3 of your rockets. Simply just 2 shots from this, because your opponent's already taken damage and in the air from your Rocket Swarm earlier, it's going to finish them off fast. There's a multitude of different combos you can use with Jayto and his abilities, which makes him probably one of the better combo characters to run in this game. Because of how he plays, he is best used as a frontline fighter. He can hit fast and hard and can also make a pretty decent escape, which is why again you can actually use your Thruster Suit to activate and get away from danger. An excellent combo character to run Jayto with is Booney. Because Booney has his long range rockets, he can actually give cover to Jayto as he cuts the distance on your opponent. Or better yet, if Booney's under attack by say a Blast Spear at close range, you can activate your Thruster Suit to catch up and help out Booney and get Blast Spear off his back. Definitely try to run a support class character when you're playing as Jayto if you're working with a team. Because I focus so heavily on making Jayto a frontline fighter, I've gotten between 6 to 11 KOs per match playing him in this fashion, which is also a lot of help from my artifacts, which I'll talk about in just a sec.
Only ball. Teammate ball. Teammate ball. Teammate scores.
Now let's talk about the artifacts, which, as I stated, I like to play Jayto as a frontline fighter, which starting off with the first artifact should be your Blast Bird. Blast Bird immediately increases your overall damage output depending upon what level you have this artifact on. Having a Blast Bird at level 3 with Jayto, it just makes him just a killer character to run with. But to add even more damage to the mayhem, you want to attach the Unstable Canister. Because Jayto has so many different types of attacks that can hit multiple targets at once, along with comboing that with any special items you pick up on the field, the higher your blast meter is going to go up, which will go up pretty fast, your Unstable Canister will add in the damage. Comboing this with your Blast Bird, it's just going to rain hell on the field. And to add the final insult to injury against your opponents will be of course the Boom Bit. Every time you get a KO thanks to your other 2 artifacts activating, your Boom Bit will increase your overall damage. Having all 3 of these red artifacts, you will just dominate the field with Jayto. Jayto truly shines in modes like say Rocket Ball and Mega Rocket. Because those modes require you to get up close and personal with your opponents, this is where Jayto can truly shine in close quarters combat. He's also a fairly decent mid-range fighter as well in say modes like Knockout, where opponents will try to keep their distance from you. Players by now know Jayto truly excels in close quarters combat, so at any time an opponent tries to keep their distance from you, like say a Top Notch, a Kai, or even an Izel, simply activate your Thruster Suit to close in the distance with them and also use your Rocket Swarm to finish them off. And any stragglers that are left behind, once you switch back to your Skypiercer Rockets, those rockets, because of how accurate and fast they hit, they can knock them out pretty quick. Truly use Jayto as a frontline fighter while also activating these 3 artifacts to increase his overall damage. With a good supportive team, you're gonna dominate as this character in no time. And everyone, that is it. That is all of our Rocket Arena, all 11 videos so far on every character that's come out for this game. I've had an absolute blast covering this game, and I hope you have too. We'll definitely be covering any new characters that come out with Rocket Arena later down the road, but for right now, we're also finishing up our Destroy All Humans gameplay tips and tricks, so be sure to stick around for that. And within a week or so, we're also going to be covering a game called Pathfinder Kingmaker very soon, so I hope you stick around. There'll be more games to cover later on the road, such as Watch Dogs Legion, Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and so much more. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Mulder, and I'll see you next time in the GameChron.